Up and Carolina Panthers Day. Our FanDuel partners welcoming us, getting to feast our eyes on the catch radius of one Tetaroa. We have Derrick Brown, a 7-year veteran. Jaycee Horn had a nice interception off of Bryce Young, who's joining the show. Love having him. He's been on our show several times. Always so incredible to talk to him. And now he's got this offense to play with, and a madman running the entire show in our guy Dave Canales, who's joining us as well. So lots of fun to be had here, and we're going to do something really, really good. We're going to put some goodness into this thing. Let's hear it for Coach joining the show. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, we are with the Carolina Panthers. Love being here, and I've got a smiley, I'm hoping well-rested Coach Dave Canales. Day off yesterday. What's going on?
Yeah, it's great. Great day to connect with family. The guys are organized, so we get our stuff done. You know, there was a bunch of dudes in here regenning. So I've been trying to, hop into that little crew too. Some infrared, some different things. Just try to stay light on my feet.
Some infrared for Coach. We love it. Is the infrared affecting the hype, the vigor, the tenacity that I'm seeing and hearing about from this camp? I was told first day of pads, 10 out of 10, insane intensity.
Yeah, it's just the heart and spirit of competition. You know, when you throw good people at each position group, like Dan and I, our dream is for every position group, we have competition all the way through it, to make the team. And we're starting to see that. We're starting to build that. And so it just kind of brings up the whole intensity of the practice. Competition
between Chuba and Trevin Wallace. Can you describe that sort of one-on-one that's happening?
Yeah, I mean, both guys kind of pride themselves on the physical nature of their play. Chuba, the tough style that he runs with, and Trevin just being big and fast and showing up violently. And so there's been some amazing collisions inside, and, it goes beyond Chuba. I mean, Rico Dowdle, Trevor Etienne, the whole room, those guys are really intent on showing a personality.
Keep pounding. That's sort
Absolutely.
That's
right.
The mantra of this camp, of course. Jaycee also may be part of that intense crew. How is he looking so far?
He looks amazing. I think having a young receiver group outside, on the perimeter, what better guy to go against every day than Jaycee Horn? He brings out the best in them. Sometimes they get exposed because he's so tall, he's so fast, and he's got the experience and all that. So he's forcing T-Mac and Xavier to bring their best every day, and that's what we hope for.
And we're talking at the owners' meetings, and just about that second half of the season, those last 3 games specifically. How are you? What is the key to carrying that momentum when there is so much off time, when there is so much up and down, and it's hard to get into a rhythm? Now you guys are back. Do you feel like that momentum has picked up?
Yeah, I hope it's a trust factor. I hope it's the philosophy of our football style that we're selling to our group to say, guys, I've seen this work at the highest level, and I've seen this work for a long time. Talking about my years in Seattle and being with Pete, and just bringing the culture here and becoming us, and finding a style of play, the things that are important, taking care of the ball, the effort, toughness, playing smart, all those things, it leads to success. And hopefully the guys felt that at the end of the season, we were playing a good brand of football. Can we just get back to that part of it? And they certainly feel like they can.
Last year, from when I sat with you last year, I think we weren't quite here. We were on the other side.
Yeah.
There's been some changes, some additions. Hunter Renfrow, Mr. Route King out here doing his thing. Well, I definitely want to get into Bryce. But if you think about you and the acclimating and feeling more, I don't even know, more comfortable, how would you describe maybe your evolution since last year sitting here with me to now?
Yeah, I think I just feel really supported. The first year is about kind of setting the foundation and explaining what we're looking for. And now I feel like I have a staff, the defensive staff. A lot of those guys were here before I got here. I have a full staff that kind of understands what we're trying to get done every day, off season and during camp and into the season. And then I have a group of leaders on our team, players, talk about Bryce, talk about Chuba Hubbard, Jaycee Horn, Derrick Brown, guys that really champion the cause and understand that we're trying to create a personality. We're trying to create a thumbprint, if you will, for how we play football. And so having all those voices, I just feel very supported, where I can just kind of look for the in-betweens and the incremental improvement.
So now is it just like wrinkles you're putting in? Like, are you getting to focus on more nitty-gritty stuff when you say that you're able to, you feel supported? What does that allow you to go do?
Yeah, it really does. It frees me up to kind of be more creative with schemes, and the carryover from year 1 to year 2, offensively. Can we own and master the core of our concepts? And then can we just put a little sauce on it. Defensively, can we be a little bit better at holding shell? Can we be a little better disguising this pressure? And really just trying to fine-tune some of those things. So I think the more comfortable we get, the more we can dig into the details.
Coach, how long do you want this interview to go before we talk about how you lied to me?
What? What do we got?
Is that even on these cards? Is it? That was the first question. Let me see. My producers, I'm sure. You literally lied to me. Look, this is what this says. Well done on the draft. Look, read that. Well done on the draft smoke screen. You had me convinced you were going defense.
Oh.
You literally lied to me at the owner meeting and said, oh, I don't know, defense. And then you go and you get your receiver at 8th overall. What? Do you want to apologize? Do you want to say gotcha? Like, you got me.
First of all, let me apologize. Okay, the process went, as we say, the evaluation process continues. It seriously went
Really?
all the way up to the morning of the draft. Dan and I going back and forth, is it...
Dan lied to me too, by the way. After I interviewed you, I go defense, and he was like, "You know it." And then I sat there. In my at the breakers, or not the breakers, wherever I was during the draft, and I was like, "I know what's coming." No.
Honestly, we took it all the way to the morning of, and we were sitting there.
Your PR
we were going
team very happy. Your comms
and we were
guy very
going
happy about
back
that.
and forth, and we just couldn't get off the fact that we got a chance to get a 6'4", 220-pound wide receiver with great hands and control, and he just grew on us. And I mean, we were definitely we needed defensive help up front, and the way that it played out with Princely and Nick in the next 2 rounds, it just was like a dream come true. So.
I met Tetaroa in the draft process. The night he was drafted, I met him in Green Bay, and I've seen him since. What kind of sauce does he bring to the offense that you're talking? Let's add the sauce, because that catch he made was unbelievable.
He really just enjoys the game. He has a love and a joy for playing it. And the cool part is he played his high school ball in Southern California. I'm from Southern California, and there's just a presence about him. The lights are never going to be too bright for a kid out of LA. There's all this hype, all this pressure, all the things, and he goes to Arizona, picked that school to go with one of his teammates, and really made the most out of his career there. He comes here, and it's like it couldn't have been a better fit for him and Xavier, both guys who just love life. They have a passion for football. I know when they're thinking too much, because you don't see the smile. When they're comfortable, they're having fun. They're bringing juice. They're bringing a lot of energy to that room. So he fits in great with the group.
You have to almost read his body language, which is he's a less vocal character. Yeah. Is there a vocal guy on this offense, like the one that I as a fan would want mic'd up every game?
I would say definitely Chuba. Chuba is the guy that he's a man's man, and he represents us so well, which is why we wanted to get that contract done last season, in the season, to make sure that he was with us for a long time. And this is a guy, Chuba, specifically, who just stands for what I'm about. I just love the way he plays, and he makes sure that he talks to his teammates on the offensive side and the defensive side when they come together to make sure we're all pulling in the same direction.
You describe him as a man's man. We're talking about sauce on the offense. Bryce, your relationship with him surely has grown and evolved. Yeah. I love him. He was my favorite storyline of the NFL last year, to be so honest and so sincere. I really mean that earnestly. What have you noticed even in this camp that's really sticking out? How would you describe how his maybe NFL identity has evolved?
Yeah, I think it's just, mastery of our stuff. The whole system, keeping that attacking mentality. He gives me the confidence to push things forward, to do a little bit more. Try a little something else before the snap, add a little extra double move on this concept or that, and he's just really allowing us to do that. And then from a leadership standpoint, the guy is so consistent. He's the same guy every day. He shows up, he speaks when he needs to, he's super competitive, he'll give it right back to the defense, when they make a play. And he's a guy that if he has an interception or he has a bad play, there's a big one coming up, and he just kind of has that stubbornness and that mentality to just continue to compete and fight.
I love hearing that. He's getting along with his new wrinkles.
Absolutely. He couldn't be more excited about, the guys that we have in the receiver room. JT Sanders doing a great job at tight end. Trevor Etienne, Rico Dowdle, again, like I said, Bryce is just really excited to just kind of be able to work with more guys throughout, the depth of our positions.
Is he excited about this young pass rush that he's, facing? Is there what can you tell NFL fans who are looking forward to maybe some of these young pass rushers taking over?
Yeah, it's the talent that we hoped we could bring in here, to create that competition on the edge, to see who's going to battle for those pass rush opportunities. And Nick Scorton and Princely Umanmielen have showed up that way, working hard every day, learning our concepts, and then also just flashing once or twice a day on a pass rush move against good tackles. And, they just kind of like are taking to it. I got to talk about DJ Wanham and Pat Jones.
Okay.
These are leaders, and those guys have good men in front of them that they can follow and kind of have a foundation for being a pro.
Hold on, what did that say? Princely hit Bryce.
Yes, it was.
That's what he just wrote on the whiteboard.
When we looked at the replay, he was avoiding. He got kind of thrown into it. He was avoiding. It hit his arm, and it kind of all ties in. But those are teachable moments. Thank God nothing happened, to Bryce in that moment. But shoot, you like to see it. You like to see the juice.
And to go back, and I like that, and to go back on offense quickly, what is this? I'm trying to think what this is going to look like. You are a mastermind. You're a former wide receivers coach. You're getting in the lab and getting to play around a little bit. Can you give me a little hint and not lie to me this time about what we might expect to see that might be different? What's the biggest change maybe that we'll see from last year to now offensively?
First of all, we're always going to try to find a way to run the ball. That's just in my DNA. But with that, we have a lot of different things we can throw at defenses, just stretching the field, being more aggressive on first down. Okay. I think that was kind of one thing coming off of last year is I ran the ball a lot. I was trying to guarantee we got runs. We can be more aggressive in those situations, especially because of how much I trust Bryce. The further we got into the season last year, it's like, call your babies. Don't leave this game without calling your favorite sexiest plays that we have. Just go for it. And that was Brad Idzik, encouraging me. He's like, hey, be aggressive. Let's not take these plays back into the locker room after the game. And Bryce gives us the confidence to be able to do that.
Is there a receiver Tataroa reminds you of? I'm hearing Mike Evans. You're like, not a division rival, but Mike Evans.
Yeah, honestly, they're different. They are a different type of player. T-Mac kind of, he's got some inside-outside flexibility, kind of as a slot type of receiver, and attacks the ball, comes back to it. He's got such a variety of tools that he can use because of his body control. Former volleyball player, so vertical leap, really soft hands, really balanced hands. That's probably the things that stand out to me.
Drake London-ish?
Yeah, that's a good comp, I think. I think T-Mac has a little more fluidity in his routes than Drake, but I would say certainly the way he can play, above the rim.
I'm hoping to see a connection between Bryce Young and he, maybe in the first preseason game against the Browns. What is the plan? Will we see him in this first one?
Absolutely. My plan is to play a series or two with the starters for the first two preseason games. So I'm excited to get them out there. It goes beyond just the reps in the game. It's the night before. It's the morning of. It's what you eat. It's how you mentally prepare. It's going through your process of body readiness going into the games. Those are valuable reps as much as going out there and actually playing the game. So I'm excited to kind of throw that at the guys, especially for some of the younger players, the rookies and all that. But certainly our starters just playing together and feeling what that feels like to prep from the night before all the way going up to it.
You're excited. I can't wait for the momentum from last year to carry over. And like you said, I think somebody said nobody wants to play you this year. And I agree. I know there's a big thing going on tomorrow night. Let's get into it. It's Fan Fest at Bank of America Stadium. It's full pads. It's a large crowd. It's all the Panthers fans that are excited and are going to put their hands together and scream to keep pounding. What do we have in store for the Panthers fans? It's at night. I heard there's an autograph sesh. There's a lot of things going on. What are you most looking forward to?
I am fired up to see our guys play a physical style of football. Old school, we used to have 4 preseason games, so football's on. Last night it started, and so now I'm just excited to kind of dose these guys the right way and say, hey, man, this is like preseason 1 for us. This is an opportunity for all of you to make an impact. We got full speed special teams. We're not holding any punches. The guys are going to be able to be out there. We're doing everything except for laying out and tackling at the legs, basically.
Okay, you want to get your hands dirty, Coach.
That's right.
And that trickles down from top to bottom. And I know this organization. I'm close to this organization. I know how much good is done by Nicole and Mr. Tepper, and with food banks, with food scarcity, you got your hands dirty. You got involved and you were volunteering among them. They've given over $10 million to food banks in the Carolinas, and you volunteered with them. Can you tell me a little bit about what that was like?
Yeah, I'm really proud to just be a part of this organization because, you know, you have the Teppers are so committed to meeting needs in our community. The Greater Carolinas, just whenever there's a need, whenever there's heartache, whenever there's trauma, they show up. You know, last year there was a police shooting, and they showed up and offered the stadium and said, let's have this service, let's rally around that. Hurricane Helene relief, certainly, you know, we had a group of us go to the food banks that they're already connected with and get our hands involved there, you know. So I've just seen them model to me, wherever our community needs us, we will show up.
And how important is service to you as a leader of this organization, and how are these players showing up?
Yeah, I think that my challenge to the guys is like our jobs, number one, is to play really good football, but I also know how good football can affect a community and can impact it in a positive way. And I want them to be ready that as we grow as an organization, as we're called upon and asked to do things, that we already have the foundation to be involved, to reach out, and to make it a better community and a better place to live.
I think it's important to pay it forward. I think
Absolutely.
You are inspiring, the Teppers are inspiring, and there is a responsibility when you are in the spotlight, when you are having success, to pay it forward and take that time. So I can't believe I get to do this. I'm honored on behalf of everybody at FanDuel. We are going to, of course, FanDuel with a commitment to supporting communities in North Carolina. We are donating today.
That's awesome.
$200,000 to aid food banks across North Carolina. Big thanks to FanDuel, and that will provide millions of meals, 1 million meals to people who really, really need it. So thank you for the inspiration.
Oh, that's
I know
awesome.
I'm not out there, at a padded practice getting physical with Chuba Hubbard, but everybody has to do their part. That's really inspiring. So yes, we $100,000 to the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina, and $100,000 to Second Harvest Food Bank of Metrolina to help combat food scarcity, like you're doing as you
That's
combat
amazing.
all those teams in your division. Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Have a good
you, CK.
practice out there. Don't drag me out there, though, just because I'm inspired. I'm not running through a wall physically today. All right, bye. Big thanks to Coach Canales. Big thanks to FanDuel and Carolina Panthers for coming together to do good in this community in the Carolinas, where it's much needed and appreciated. So really, really great stuff. And the show must go on. And let's go to the quarterback one, who gave us such beautiful moments, especially in the second half of last year. How do they carry that momentum into the start of this season? Which wide receiver is getting the most targets? I'm going to try to grill Bryce Young right now. Not a stop in Carolina without hanging out with Bryce Young, starting quarterback, face of the franchise here at a beautiful day at practice. Bryce, I drove here from Ashburn, Virginia, I believe. I went to Bojangles. I should have hit you up and asked you what the order is. What is the best perfect order at Bojangles?
You can never go wrong with Supremes, and then, of course, a Bowberry biscuit. Those are like classic.
Just one?
If you're depending on how you're feeling, one, I can't. Really, you should do more than one, but at least one, at least.
Well, not at training camp, of course. You guys are looking lean and tough. I got to talk to Coach Canales. I got to talk to Derrick Brown, Jaycee Horn, who picked you off today. But you guys keep going back and forth. It's shot for shot. How would you describe that heated rivalry? I love to see offense versus defense the way you guys are right now. I love it.
Yeah, just want to compete. We both want to push each other. Everyone wants to push the team to be the best version that we can be. So, we just want to come out here and compete. And I'm grateful to be able to go against JC, against the defense. As an offense, as a unit, it's great to be able to practice against them every single day. So we just want to get each other better.
He called you a killer. He did. How do you feel about that? I wonder, do you embrace that? He did. He said that we don't maybe see the things you do, say.
Yeah, I'm concerned with what the team needs, with the team. Obviously, yeah, the media is the media, but obviously for my role as a quarterback, as a leader, I bring whatever the team needs.
There were two things that I noticed today that I want to talk to you about. Just now, practice ends, and you're hanging out with your rookie wide receiver, the highly acclaimed, everyone's talking about him, Tetaroa. What were you guys talking about for like 15 minutes over there?
Right now, we weren't talking about anything football related right there. But one thing about T-Mac is he's always wanting to have those conversations throughout practice. Though when it is all ball, whether it's a completion, incompletion, a miscommunication, whatever it may be, he's always coming back. Hey, how was that? Is that good? I'm coming. How was what? We just want to be on the same page, and I appreciate that from a young guy. Just having that hunger to want to make sure that we're communicating, make sure that we're, and he's doing the same thing with the receiver coach. So that's been great to see.
I sometimes think people see one thing and they get obsessed with it and then forget the other parts of their game. So everyone talks about the, Mike Evans-esque, Drake London-esque. That's per Dave Canales' comp, sort of his size. What is one thing that you're noticing that you really like about his game now that you're out there? Is there another element?
Yeah, his ball skills and feel. I think he's someone that plays the game so instinctually. He's always in the right place. Is really friendly with all of his breaks. Has great feel. Does a great job separating zone, knowing where to sit, knowing where to settle, knowing how to tempo routes, when to run routes full speed, and ball skills as well. Super big catch radius. Makes our jobs easy at the quarterback position. So we're all super excited.
I saw Xavier out here somewhere. Didn't get to say hi yet. I do think sometimes, and I've gone to speak to him a lot, but whenever his name comes up, it's something goofy. It's sort of like a character. I don't know that I love that for this year, because when I watch him, I see a really physical football player. And I was hoping you could maybe, in your expert eyes, tell me what you see, because as far as separation, the one-on-ones, in those situations, it's A.J. Brownie to me. I was curious, what, if we're talking about not the character and all, the football player and what he brings.
Yeah, like you said, obviously, you see the personality, and he's a great dude to have in the locker room, and he brings a ton of energy, and it's great to be around. But when you put that aside, yeah, you definitely see a dog out on the field, someone who works super hard, someone with a really big competitive drive. He's always competing, practicing hard, whether it's training camp, it's the season, it's a fast Friday without pads. He's always pushing to get things right. And on the field on game days, you could tell he lives for that stuff. When the moment gets moment gets big, gets competitive, he's the guy that wants the ball. He's the guy that's going to go and do all the things. Whether it's catch the ball, it's blocking, he's doing whatever the team needs. And we all see that. We all feel that. A lot of people don't know last year all the stuff he was going through. He had a lot of opportunities to shut it down. A lot of little things he was dealing with during the season. And that's just not who he is. It was never brought up. He never talked about it. He never complained. He never even brought it up to us a lot of the times. He was fighting with the training staff. I want to practice. I want to be 100%. I'm playing on Sunday, no matter what. That's the competitor he is. That's the person he is. So I'm super, super grateful that he's on the team.
I can't wait to see this offense and what it looks like. When I see you, when I watch you out here, I think about the game against the Chiefs. I think about the magic that happens when you get outside the pocket, and how we did see that last year, and it's what I want. I want to see. Obviously, wins are more important. You were the most exciting player. My favorite story, I've told you this a million times, I'm a broken record about it. With these new elements, the Tetaroa, healthy Xavier, which we don't even know, with Chuba, all these things working, how much more Bryce Young magic are we going to see this year?
Whatever it takes for us to win games. That's the bottom line. That's the goal.
Maybe that's an easier question. How do you do it? I don't know. What happens in those moments?
Just rely on my teammates. I try to do everything I can. Obviously, we always have a great plan. We have a great coaching staff. And it's hard enough to cover our guys, for the 2.7 that we talk about as a unit. But the times you're able to extend and really just give them more time to work. Obviously, a lot of the times it's just getting the ball to guys, being able to react. We try to buy as much time as possible, but it's the receivers doing the hard work, the O-line, allowing me to get outside the pocket, allowing me to extend plays, giving lanes, or allowing me to stay in the pocket with how good they're doing up front. It's a unit. It's a team effort. So just want to do everything I can to let our guys work.
Who's the LeBron and who's the Luka?
LeBron and Luka.
Who's the LeBron and who's the
Luka? Of this team?
Play style or?
I don't know I don't know how to answer that. The LeBron and Luka. What are we like?
Whatever your definition of that would be.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know how to.
LeBron? Like, is it?
That's just. If you go the age route, I guess.
You can take it whatever.
I guess both. Yeah, both.
Whatever Hunter
both
elite, for a route
regardless
you want.
of neither one of them play or act like their age. Neither one of them you'd know if you didn't say it. Yeah, I don't know.
Bryce, I'm trying to get the wide receiver one out of you. Obviously,
I'm trying.
Who's the top wide receiver? We don't have one?
Yeah, well, everyone
see.
Exactly. It's a unit. It's a unit thing. It's a team.
I had to try.
We all got. You got to try. You got to do your job.
My Bryce Young magic.
You got a job to do.
I got out of the
one.
pocket. Was trying to make who's open and figured out. The other thing I noticed is you were playing basketball. As we're talking basketball metaphors here with the ball, you're having a good time out there. There's a looseness to you that I'm as a fan going to equate to confidence. I feel like confidence leads to those Bryce Young plays and that ability to do that. How would you describe your confidence heading into the season right now?
Yeah, I'm definitely confident. Individually, my confidence comes from my faith and the people around me, and I have all the confidence in the world in those things. And then, as a unit, as a team, I think this is where we're building our confidence as a team. Being able to have these days, these long training camp days, going back and forth, competing, seeing how we respond. Obviously, we're going to get opportunities to have joint practices against two really good teams, which is exciting as well. Just opportunities for us to build that group confidence. So that's really that focus right now.
I've asked everyone what they did on their day off, and there's a lot of different answers, regen, all of that. I'm sure that was part of your day. But you spent part of your day with Young Nine, with mental health, with thinking about how to improve the community. Can I just ask, we've talked about this a lot, your vulnerability, your sort of like openness, you're peeling back the layers of that aspect of the game of being a human is really inspiring. What's been the reaction maybe among teammates or fans that you're hearing since that this has sort of been going on and growing?
Yeah, I've had a lot of great interactions, teammates, people that people that I knew outside of football, people that I didn't know and was able to was fortunate enough to meet and kind of hear testimonies, and I feel like I'm very blessed to be in the position I'm at, and I definitely feel compelled and feel obligated to try to do everything I can to use my team, use my resources, and try to give back with what I'm passionate about. And I'm a big believer that mental health is something that unites us all, regardless of walk of life, profession. It's something that we all we all go through. We all have our ups and downs with, and being able to hear the impact that I've had on some people. For me, it's super fulfilling for myself individually. So it's something I enjoy, and hearing that it's had positive effects on others means the world to me. So yeah, I was super grateful for yesterday. It was a great group. Teens and young adults everyone was super attentive. It was, again, great for me as well. And anytime I'm able to do stuff like that, I'm very privileged.
You give and then you get a lot out of it, which I think is great.
For sure.
I love everything that you do, of course, with Young Nine, everything this team does, everything this camp is all about. And I'm excited. Listen, you just turned happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
You just turned 24 last week. You don't have wrinkles aren't a thing for you, but just the wrinkles in the offense is what I'm excited about. And that smile sort of says it all. Good luck. That 3-game stretch was unreal. I know it's difficult to carry over the momentum, but let's go. Let's go, Bryce. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
These guys had a day off yesterday. The energy is a 10 out of 10 today at Panthers camp. Derrick Brown joining the show. We'll get his thoughts on some of these young pass rushers, the evolution of Bryce Young, and maybe a little Dan Morgan action as well. We will also talk to Jaycee Horn. Jaycee Horn, Mr. Interception, on his new deal, his goals. What's it going to take to get that All-Pro this year? Let's go. Coming off his Pro Bowl season, entering, I believe, his 4th year in the league, the newly extended fifth year?
Year 5, yeah.
5th year in the league. Oh, my gosh. Where did the time go? How did I get that wrong? Did you have 5 interceptions also off of Bryce Young today? The one that I saw was absolutely beautiful. Can you describe the rivalry between you two right now at camp?
Yeah, man, just two competitors. Bryce, he got a lot of people fooled because, you see him in the media. He soft-spoken, real smart guy, but when you get him going and talk a little trash to him, he'll throw a touchdown on you and let you hear it. So it's just been fun competing with him, trying to bring the best out of each other and just raise the level of the team.
Other quarterbacks are described as magic. Some quarterbacks, cold-hearted killers, all of that, ice, shiesty. How would you describe your quarterback?
He kind of remind me of, Steph Curry a little bit. He a silent killer. He might pop it a little bit, but, he ain't going to say too much, but when I get under his skin and I hear the real him, I'm like, okay, I know he a real dog and a real killer. So, I love to see him make plays and, like I said, just go back and forth with him and we get each other better.
I can't tell if you're actually giving him a compliment or if you're talking because he's a big Lakers fan and he would probably hate. Like, I'm trying to think, is Bryce going to like that Steph comp? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I hooped with him a few times, and I know he likes Steph Curry game, and they got similar games, so I think he'll like that Steph Curry comp.
I'm going to ask him who the second best basketball player is on the team, because hoops all the time. He was playing hoops out there, air ball today. Who's the second best basketball player?
The second best?
Yeah.
I think me and him talk too. I'll probably give it to him. He got the edge. He shoot it a little better than me. But
that's so nice. You are coming off an incredible year. I'm looking at your numbers right now. Oh my gosh, 68 combined tackles, 5 TFLs, 2 sacks, 13 passes defended. Which one? I'm trying to gauge the one that's making you smile the most. Which one are you most proud of?
I mean, I think I had a solid year last year. I feel like I still left a few plays out there, but definitely honored to make my first Pro Bowl. But I'm trying to go all pro and just keep getting better each and every year. So I think I got more room to grow.
Good year, solid enough for $100 million extension over 4 years. I was just talking to Derrick Brown, whose opinion I trust, and he said he's locked in. He's locked in, and he said he got paid. I go, sometimes that goes the other way.
Yeah.
He said, no, not with him. What did it mean to you that this organization, Dan Morgan, Mr. Tepper, Mrs. Tepper, that extension happened after what was really an incredible season?
It meant a lot, just because of my history here. My first couple years having season-ending surgeries and going through the ups and downs. They never wavered. They just told me to, keep coming back each year, and once I put the product on the field, for a full season, they were going to take care of me, and that's what they did. So, I owe my all to Carolina, and like you said, like DB said, I don't plan on slowing down. I'm a competitor, and that's all it's about to me at the end of the day.
Are you locked in?
Oh, yeah, for sure, always.
You're ready to go. You're giving some pleasantries to Bryce Young, some not. Richard Sherman, okay, I'm in support of trash-talking corners.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Richard Sherman. I like getting the mix, the Josh Normans, of course, here in Carolina, that jersey. I think I still have that. You are not afraid to speak your mind. I appreciate that. I need that. And as a highly paid guy, I need you to just clap a little bit. Why is it important to keep that intensity and maybe a vocal presence here at camp?
Really, just as a cornerback, you gotta have that. You gotta have that confidence. It's not an easy job. You're gonna get beat. My coach would always say, "You show me a corner that don't get beat, that's a corner that don't play." So you're gonna get beat. So you gotta always build yourself back up and be ready to line it up the next snap. And I feel like I'm at my best when I'm talking trash because I know I have to be at my best. I think for the team, it just raises the level of practice, keeps the energy up. That's one of the main reasons me and Bryce go back and forth so much, just to keep everybody else tempo up and so we can have good days.
You're one of the best. You go up against some of the best in this division. You're Mike Evanses and so on. I want to talk about your new rookie here. He looks huge.
Yeah.
He looks amazing. What lessons have you taught him so far in camp?
Oh, man, we teach each other. He a rookie, but, he a big body, similar to Mike Evans. He's one of those guys where even if you own him, he can make the tough catches just because his size and his length. And he just learning as he goes. I see his release package getting a little better as camp goes by. And, I'm excited to see him this year. And I think people are going to be in for a treat.
How much, and it starts week 1. How much have you thought about Travis Hunter and what that could look like? Like when you play at the top of the position, at your position in this division, and they're your opponent, no one will know. You're the first person who gets to see what that looks like. One of the bigger questions in the NFL right now. How do you approach that? What do you think of when you hear the name Travis Hunter week 1?
I mean, I approach it just like I approach every other receiver. I think Travis, a special talent. I'm from Gwinnett County, and he went to high school out there. So, I've always been a fan of his game, and we even have a little bit of a relationship dating back to when he was in high school. So, I'm going to approach it like every other receiver. I definitely respect his game, but, I'm going to come to play as well. So it'll be a fun matchup.
It'll be a fun matchup. We can't wait to watch it. Is there somebody at this camp you're making all the highlights, and you're not leaving much room on the internet for the other guys making plays here at camp. Is there someone on offense or defense that you, as a tenured veteran, who's somebody that you sort of need to put on my map? Who should I be yapping about more?
Jimmy Horn. He got a lot of speed. It's not just hype. I know he's not really under the radar because everybody love to see his one-on-ones and all that stuff. But, in real football, I think he's going to make a lot of plays for us. He got game-changing speed. And he's a small guy in stature, but he plays like he's 6'4", makes tough catches. And I'm excited to see him as well. So I think our whole receiving court, Renfro coming back, he been impossible to guard out here out of the slot.
Look at your face, really?
Yeah. The receivers been making plays. I'm excited to see those guys suit up on Sunday.
Why do people sleep on Renfro so much? I'm not.
I think we know that just the way he.
Oh.
You know, he looked like a regular businessman if you see him just.
Okay, but then you watch him run a route, and you're like, oh my goodness, what is it about him that you respect so much that makes you say he's impossible to guard?
He's just the way he set up routes. You know, from off, when you off coverage, the way he make everything. He might have an out route and make it look like an in-breaking route. He puts so many sticks and twists and turns in his routes. It just make it tough to cover. So I'm excited to see it one-on-one.
Who am I excited for, or who are you excited to see as a receiver on your gauntlet this year?
I really don't. I mean, like I said, I approach them all the same. You know, I think it's the NFL, so every week, you know, you're gonna have a tough matchup.
Is there someone you're looking
10.
forward to seeing? And he just there's a name that came to your mind, I'm sure.
I promise it hasn't. No.
Travis Hunter, Brian Thomas Jr. Week 1.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm focused on. Week 1, and then week 2, I think we got Arizona. So it'll be Marvin there, and then week 3 we see Drake London. Like, you see what I'm saying? Every week is somebody. So you just got to come prepared every week to bring your best football and play as consistent as you can.
Coach Canales is getting you prepared. It's nice to have some consistency on this team. Of course,
Sure.
He's such a fan of yours. And he said that he's got sort of coaches in place now where he can focus on this like mastermind stuff, like this wrinkles, this more nitty gritty. Are you noticing that? And you've been with him a year now. How would you describe your relationship and what you're sort of noticing out of Coach that might have like evolved from last year when he's still trying to get his feet settled?
Yeah, I mean, I love Coach Canales. You know, he a young guy. He getting more comfortable. I think that's what I noticed. And like you said, his brain always twisting. Like before practice, always when we go to stretch, I'm always beside him, and he'll just like be talking the whole stretch about different scenarios or what we gonna do in this period and that period. And I'm just like, man, this guy really a football maniac. So yeah, it's good to have him back. And like you said, just to have that consistency for me and all the young guys, to see the same faces around the building this year. You know, I think it'll do a lot for us.
Congrats on the new baby.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
And who gives the best advice on the team? Derrick just had his 4th.
Yeah, probably DB.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, Shaq Thompson, too, he gone. But, you know, I talked to him a lot because he got 3 kids. So, yeah, DB, Shaq, you know, they keep me up to date, you know, keep me going with all the tips.
What kind of a babysitter will Bryce Young be, you think? You call him up and say...
Yeah, I think he'll be perfect. That'll be the first person I call if I needed somebody to babysit my baby, for sure.
Really? Why Bryce Young?
Because I don't know. He's so by the book and does everything right. I know I could trust him. And
that's what we want out of our quarterbacks. Okay, we appreciate you stopping by. So anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think you hit it all.
I hit it all?
Yeah,
congratulations. This was a very easy interview because there's just so much to celebrate.
Yes, ma'am.
Out
yes,
here.
Ma'am.
And I mean, my favorite thing, just so before we go to break, when I see a player that I know I'm going to talk to after practice and they have the day that this man had, and then like having it's a very easy, loving, spread love interview. So I appreciate that. I'm here with the backbone in pads. Didn't even want to water before this interview. Ran over here. You have a busy day planned or something? Or you guys had a day off, Derrick Brown?
Took the day off, got the body back right. Now it's time to go lift.
What does regen look like for you? I heard infrared saunas, all the rage here at Panthers camp.
Yeah, infrared saunas, cold tubs, hot tubs, just any and everything, laser, any and everything you can get your hands on at this point.
Is there something that you're really into right now? Some sort of like a regen vibe or meditation, something that you do that you like really are into right now?
I think more so for me right now, it's just like as I'm getting older, I need to stretch more. So I actually implement the stretches in the day.
Well, the reason I'm asking, you came over here and we were talking about how it's year 7, and you said you're getting old. You obviously don't look it. You are an absolute like vision on the field, just watching you practice and work out and your work ethic. What is it like to be in year 7 with all these young cats, including a quarterback running around?
No, it's crazy. Just to be able to, I said I made it 6 years in the league. It's crazy. It's one of those things where, I'm blessed to be here, and but the work ethic's got to continue. Got to continue to push myself like I did day 1.
Yeah, but then it's baby fever.
Yeah.
You're here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Not only you, but a future guest of Up and Adams show, Jaycee Horn, both with newborns. This is your 4th daughter. Congratulations, little baby Kennedy.
This is my 3rd daughter.
Your 3rd.
Fourth kid,
child,
3rd daughter. Yes. So I am a 3-time girl dad, and I got a little boy at home that's just started playing football, so I'm excited.
That's Kai, who's 6. Is he out to practice? What is he thinking? We have a big one tomorrow here.
Yeah, no, he is. He's going to be here tomorrow night. He's got his practice in the morning, so I'll get a chance to go to that and come and work in the evening.
Can you describe to me sort of feeling stepping on the field day 1 in pads? I heard out of really all the camps, and obviously I'm visiting most of them, hopefully. This one specifically everyone was telling me about and saying this is the one that really popped off when the pads came on. What was the magic behind that?
I think, just the guys, man. Coming in from the spring, I didn't get a chance to really do much team activity coming off the injury. So then being able to come out here and, be out here with the guys in 4 days past, you could just feel the energy. Everybody wants to be better. Everybody wants to be great at this level. And, to be able to not just hear guys say it, to be able to come out here and watch them do it, man, I've been excited. I've been so excited.
It was fun because it's very hard. Obviously, a big grind. There's some fun on offense, some nice little wrinkles that'll happen. And I was watching Bryce sort of before practice started, and he's loose. He's keeping it loose. He's, playing basketball with the football, all of that. How important is that for him to sort of maintain a looseness and have fun? It was really cool to see, and it made me feel like he's really feeling himself right now. He's confident.
Yeah, he has a great reason. He's finished the season strong. Came in at the end of the year. He had a rough year last year. Finished the season strong after all that. Came in here in the spring and attacked it full tilt, and then showed up day one of camp ready to go. I can't say enough about him. He's definitely a leader on this team, and guys respect what he has to say. He's kind of coming to his own personality. Kind of getting loose, and we get to see that side of him rather than just shy car Bryce every day.
What does that look like in the facility? With the stuff that we don't see here, even on the field or in the game, because last year we did see some of those looser moments where what I want out of Bryce Young, what I know that he has in him, that sort of like Mahomesian, get out and I'm going to make a play happen. And I think that comes from confidence and looseness. Like, what has it been like behind the scenes when you talk about us getting to unpeel a different layer of him?
Man, just being who he is. Smiling, walking around, talking, having those conversations. Some things he doesn't like that I say, but, sometimes you just got to kind of get at him a little bit and, you'll get him fired up.
What is an example of that?
Bryce is a Cali guy, so, we talk all the time about, going hunting and stuff like that. From me being a Southern boy and trying to get him out there, he's not a fan of that, but, I think maybe one day we'll kidnap him and take him down there.
Causing drama between the offense and defense. Your first Pro Bowl season was your last full season. Mm-hmm. It was back in 2023. 103 tackles I'm seeing, the most by any D tackle that entire season in the NFL. We were sort of, I feel, as a fan, robbed. Like it was taken away from me, that next step out of you. Any personal goal you want to put out there and manifest this season? Call your shot.
For me, it's just about getting back on the field, being the best version of myself. Like you said, 2023, I got a chance to be a Pro Bowler for the first time, sign my contract extension. So, coming in 2024, I was ready to go full tilt. Spend every waking second dreaming about getting out in New Orleans and playing, and then, finally to go out there and, to get hurt first game, man, that was a killer. But, man, just to have these guys behind me, have coach behind me, the staff, and, I can't thank them enough for, going through this process and, getting me back out here.
Did you see that interception by Jaycee today? He had a nice pick today.
Oh, no, I didn't see it.
He had a really nice one. How would you describe the elevation of his level of play? He looked unbelievable today.
Oh, he's locked in now. Yeah, he's locked in for sure. He got a nice little lift to his bank account this offseason, so he's definitely locked in.
Sometimes that works the other way, Derrick. I'm just saying, it's not working the other way.
I'll tell you, not in JC's case. He's coming out here trying to go top tier for sure.
T-Mac, I didn't get to watch him. I was more watching the defense. Carries himself quietly. Mm-hmm. I feel like everybody talks about his size. Everybody talks about, obviously, like him winning in contested situations, all of that. What are we maybe not talking about when you sort of watch him move?
Just, his explosiveness, be able to go up and get the ball. He's made some crazy wild catches out here. And you're right, he's a big-ass dude. He's like 6'4" for a wide receiver.
Okay, if Derrick Brown's calling you a big-ass dude, look out.
For a wide receiver, he's a big dude. And, for him to be able to get out here and go up and get those challenge balls, that's exciting to see. Not hesitating, laying his body out every day. If it's a ball that he can catch, he's going to try and catch it.
You're not going to call your shot. I just think that this defense is going to go back to the early Derrick Brown years. I do. I think it's going to go back to when it was a top defensive unit. People are going to be talking about this defense and these young pass rushers, too, these rookies that are added. This is a really improved football team. I think it might be the most improved football team from last year to this year.
Yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see come week 1 in Jacksonville. We're looking forward to it.
You are going to Jacksonville. You guys have your first preseason game
up
against, I think, the Browns a week from now.
Yeah, we got joint practice next week with the Browns.
Yeah.
And then, next Friday we're out here.
When you're 7 years in, is it like a negotiation about how much you're going to play in a week? What does that look like with Coach Dave?
Oh, I don't know. I'll come out every single day. Anything they put forward for me, I'm going to give it 100%. They want me to play, I'm going to play.
Do you want to play?
Yeah, it's been a year since I got to go against somebody else, so I'm kind of foaming at the mouth right now to get to it. So we'll see what they say, but we'll find out next week.
Carry on the momentum. A full healthy season. Wishing you the best of luck. Congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much.
Again, welcome Kennedy to the family, the fourth baby. Baby Kai will be here tomorrow. I don't know how you balance it all, but that's why you're you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All in a day's work here at Panthers Camp. Big thanks, of course, to Christy Coleman, the team president, to Nicole Tepper, to Mr. Tepper for having us out here and having this great relationship with FanDuel that brought us together to donate $200,000 for food scarcity and insecurity here in North Carolina. This has been amazing, a magical day. As always, big thanks to Kendall and just the entire Carolina organization for keeping us safe and wonderful. And now the sun is out here, so I'm going to bounce home. I'm going to LA. You might never see me again. Bye.